Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Fadox and my name is Reach. You guys can call me Reach. Hello. I don't know why I'm so excited. But today we're gonna play Planet Zoo. I told you guys, like in that Minecraft episode or whatever it's called, I would like to play Planet Zoo and I got Planet Zoo. So here it is. Now, let's start. Welcome to Planet Zoo. Thank you for joining us. You're just a few small steps away from experiencing the world of Planet Zoo. First, we'll create an avatar of yourself to represent your amazing creations among the Planet Zoo community. Make sure to create someone your friends will recognize. Okay.
Hey.
I'll just go with gray. Hopefully that looks good. I don't know. Okay. Except, finally I'm done. That took way too long. Is this an avatar? What is this? The H key is where other players will see your avatar and access to any zoos or blueprint.
Heyo.
I haven't signed up yet. What is this? Oh. Reach! I am not gonna tell you guys my last name. Okay, I'll just cut, like, I'll be back whenever I finish this stuff, okay? Sorry about that. Let's get started. Career? I guess, yeah, career. No, I don't, what, should I do career? Your chance will see all around the world and show you I really want to do sandbox, but for now, it's just a career. We're doing house. I don't want to read that stuff. Okay, I feel like this sounds way too loud, so I might just turn it up. Ooh, we're building paths. What is each? Ooh, red ankle junction. Or join two paths. Right ankle. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me well, or if it's like, or my voice is louder, because I moved my mic, like I have a complete, basically, a new setup, basically. Not really though. So, whoa! Look at this. Whoa!
Ah, heyo at Hematu.
There's voice acting?
Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of
Okay,
slipping back into the Planko language. It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although
Hello,
I insist
Bernard.
you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my
No.
wife.
Oh,
And
okay,
even
never
then,
mind.
only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home.
Okay.
This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And prides, thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing a fur allergy. Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off.
That's why he left.
Don't worry, though.
Okay, that was
I'm
really
not
funny.
completely
Okay, sorry.
throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping
Nancy
hand.
Jones.
Oh, she's a hard
She
worker.
country?
And she'll expect you to be, too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
No! Okay, sorry.
Hello there. From that rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing
Oh, she's
you're Bernie's
British.
new hire. Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because
Oh.
we're about to get really
I don't
hands-on.
have a diploma.
But
I'm not
before we
in
begin the
English.
real work, how about we familiarize you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals?
Hello.
We'll start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
I love animals. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Where? Where? Oh my gosh. Where? Do I just... Oh.
Did you know that grizzly bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year? Oh, but then
What?
again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
The controls are really weird.
Select one of the bears and you'll bring up its information panel.
See this one?
This is where you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
Where? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, let's just not
See
stare
now,
at that.
this is a fantastic way to get a close look
Oh.
at your animals.
Yeah.
You can also get this view of an animal
Don't be
by
sassy.
simply double-clicking
Stare
on
at me,
it.
come on, look at me.
Okay, when you're ready,
Wait, what'd you
let's
say?
hop over
Wait,
to
sorry,
the other
sorry.
side of the zoo and take
I
a look at the
didn't listen to her.
lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Okay. How do I exit it? Is that it? Okay. So you have to right click on everything. That's kind of annoying. So you can't. Oh, you can't. Okay. Like, how do you get out of this? Oh, you scroll zoom out. I do not know the controls. How do you look upwards? Okay, I'll be back whenever I learn the controls. Wait. Okay, I think I figured it out. Oh, wait, what? Help! Oh, okay, no. So, I think it, like this. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, I figured it out. Woohoo. Okay, and then you just do right click to move around, and then this to rotate. Okay, I figured it out. Where's the... Ooh, 15th of April. Okay. Look at that bear. Oof. Yeah. Oof. Oh! Okay, okay, never mind. I thought he was gonna eat him. Oops! Oh. Giraffes are actually really cool. I think they're like my favorite animal. I got to feed one once. It scared me, but it's still really cool. Cause its tongue, it's purple, and it's so long. Like I held the banana out, and then it licked my tongue. Wait, ew, no. I meant licked my freaking hand. Ew, why would it lick my tongue? I don't know, okay? It licked my hand. Oh, fudge. It licked my hand, and it was pretty cool. Is that it? Oh, thank you.
Panthera leo. All the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride. Although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome. Which is precisely why I handle training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on,
is she
let's head over to an
Scottish?
empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
No, yeah, she's Scottish. She's not British. Wait, what? Locate the empty habitat. Okay.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing
I
a
thought you got to pick the
certain
animals.
something.
Animals,
Well,
duh.
two somethings. Warthogs.
Oh.
So I'd like you to
There's
adopt a
no
pair of
animals,
them.
some.
To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market,
Where?
which is in the animal trading section.
Where? Oh. Ooh.
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the
What if
side
I don't
menu.
want to adopt?
Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while
Why?
you learn how it works.
I don't want to adopt these.
The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
I want to do that. Can I do that? Please? I want to order
When you
elephants.
adopt an animal, it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Zoo. And then send to zoo.
When you ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat. I've
Where?
marked the trade centre's location, so
Oh,
let's go and watch
Thank
the
you.
caretakers in action.
Wait, I don't. Where's the? Where? Who's Ash? Goblin. Okay. Who are these people? Thanks.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their
Really
destination
fast.
as fast as possible.
Look how fast he's running.
Of course,
oh my
normally
gosh,
we'd
so
have to
fast.
place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
Stop trilling
Right,
yours.
let's get the warthogs' habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment. Luckily, if you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed. Don't worry if that's a lot to remember.
Oh my
You
gosh,
can
we're
always check
starting
the
these
Zoopedia for
animals.
more
How
information.
cool. I think I should be the owner of the zoo. because I wanna
Let's
be
start by making sure we're taking care of the
Yeah,
warthog's
thanks for
nutrition
listening.
welfare.
Ugh.
To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal
Construction?
requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
How rich am I? Oh, wait. Oh, I am rich. Okay. Let's put it like right in the middle. Wait, where's like the viewing area? Because if I were visiting the zoo, hold on. How do I get up there? If I were visiting the zoo, I would want to see the animals, so I'll put that like right there. And then the water tin.
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy. Let's add a lovely mud bath for the warthogs to roll around in.
Stop trilling
That
your
bath will
words.
count towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
Water pool large. I think, yeah, mud bath. Okay, so my plan for like recording these are like, I'm gonna do a career episode per episode. So,
Oh, nice work. You've
stop
got a knack for
interrupting.
this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a pharaoh's state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop. But the first thing we need to finish is the ostrich habitat.
Oh.
It's over near the
I thought we were
hippos.
gonna get hippos. Oops. Okay, so.
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's
Would they be
pause the
fun?
game.
Oh.
Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
Now what do I do?
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built. Okay, job number 1 here is to add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Where's the gate? Oh, these are habitats. Is that the gate? Yeah. Okay. Oh, like this.
Right,
Okay.
let's complete the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
Oh my gosh. Trolls are so hard. I want it as big as possible. So I don't want them to die, you know. What's up? What is this?
Good work.
Thank you.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat,
You need
it
a
has to have a
compass.
full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably
Yes,
noticed that
confirm.
guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Let's do it till here. No. How do I cancel it? So, from here to here. Here. What am I doing? Okay, guys, I think I figured it out. Okay, I don't get it, because I did it here, but... See, it's not working anymore. But, like, I made a section glass, so... See? I think, yeah, only some sections can be glass. I think that's why. I think I'm done. So, I did replace the section with glass right here.
There we go.
Oh.
Adding in more windows gives guests
Okay.
even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat.
Yeah,
It's
so
always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat from the path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't. The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a viewing point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you remember them. Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Ooh, 4.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button. It'll run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish.
Yeah.
All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think?
Yeah,
Let's
I
get
already
4
did
of
it.
them in here.
Okay. Okay.
While we wait for them to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station,
why not?
water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item.
Oh, bronze.
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour?
What? Yeah, I knew
Oh,
that.
heaven
No.
forbid they ever escape. The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Haha. Okay, guys. I'm gonna end off the episode right here, cause there's a lot more to go for this career episode. But I'll see you guys next episode for another Planet Zoo. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below for whichever game you want me to play next. So yeah, bye.